9 minutes to 9 now, here on BBC Radio Cornwall, where we've been talking about Christmas cards on this morning's breakfast programme and whether you send or receive as many as you used to.
So important to keep up with friends, to remember people who perhaps you haven't seen for some time, or they've been bereaved, or it's just Christmas.
My mother always wants a Christmas card. That's what she finds most important. My friends and that, we don't ever send Christmas cards to each other as far as we're concerned. It's a bit of a waste of paper. Today's generation is, everything's technology. It's all text messages, emails, stuff that can just be either stored away where it's not going to take up room or thrown away.
A couple of thoughts from people we stopped yesterday. So the Greetings Card Association regularly carries out research into our card buying habits. So is news of the Christmas card's imminent demise a tad premature? Let's find out now from Sharon Little, who is the association's chief executive. Morning, Sharon.
Good morning.
Good morning. And now there has been a slight fall, hasn't there, according to your statistics?
A slight fall of 0.01%.
Tiny.
It's absolutely tiny. We're going to send, well, we send in this country, I can't tell you exactly how many we're going to send, but it's about 1 billion cards a year, which I think is pretty healthy, actually. It's a great British tradition. It started in this country in 1843, the first commercial Christmas card, Sir Henry Cole, and it grew when colour printing came in the 1860s and 1870s, and it grew and grew and grew, hand in hand with the penny post and being able to send post from one end of the country to the other for the same amount of money. And we really, really love Christmas cards. In fact, we love greeting cards of all descriptions. We send more cards per person than any other nation.
So there is cause...
all in one breath.
That's very good. There's cause for optimism, though. But Pam and I, when we were out yesterday talking to people, we spoke to a couple of, quite a few youngsters, and a lot of them were saying, no, we're not bothering. You heard that young chap there say that, no, technology these days, I don't really bother about cards. Surely you as an organisation must be a bit worried that perhaps habits are going to change as people embrace technology more.
That's a really interesting one, because I think young people have always traditionally sent fewer cards anyway. It's when people start having families that they really start to engage with their community with sending cards. Particularly, when mums start having children, it starts to grow more in that way. So it will be very interesting. I think a lot of people do keep in contact day to day with Facebook, a fantastic thing. But if you want to really be personal, and you want to really show you care, then there isn't really any substitute for a card, because a card is something that has handwriting in it, which is becoming more and more magical because we see less and less of it.
That's so true, isn't it? You've carried out, or I think you've had access to some scientific study that looked at the sentiment expressed in a card, but also written or typed online or in a text message, and there were some rather interesting findings that came from that.
There were. So what happened was that they wired up these mums, and they showed on a big screen behind them the emotional effects on the brain of receiving messages by various different routes, by a card, by text, by email, and it really showed visually exactly what was happening in the brain, and it was incredible. With texts and emails, there was virtually no change from the background emotional state. With a card and a handwritten sentiment inside, the brain kind of exploded with all of these happy, colourful chemicals. It was just for me, it was a joy to see, because it absolutely confirmed what I already knew from receiving cards, that when somebody writes to you and writes a personal message that really connects you two together, that there actually is no substitute. And the really lovely thing about it is that, when you've received it, it doesn't just then get filed away and disappear. It is proudly displayed in our homes. We keep our birthday cards up for ages, and each of those cards, and our Christmas cards, it's all part of our great big Christmas display that we love. Each of those cards represents, it's a personal messenger from all of the people who have sent those cards, and we feel surrounded by our friends and by the love of all the people that we know, and that keeps the happy chemicals going. It makes us feel less isolated if we're alone. It's I just think that you can tell. I think they're wonderful.
Yeah, well, you're in the right job, clearly. Lovely to talk to you, and a happy Christmas to you as well.
Thank you so much.
Sharon Little, who is the chief executive of the Greetings Card Association. So yes, it is a tiny fall, but as I say, anecdotally, we were hearing from youngsters who were saying, no, not going to bother. But maybe that change in their lifespan in terms of becoming, in a partnership and then having a family changes the whole notion of connecting with others at this time of year.
But do you think they will die out eventually?
We'll see. Only time will tell.
All this technology and social media.
Only time will tell. This is from Joan in Connor Downs listening to us this morning. She says she has 3 special cards which she displays each and every year. One is from her mum and dad that was sent to her back in the 70s, another from her late husband, and the other is from her son when he was having heart surgery in London. They all bring back such special memories. Yeah, I've heard of that before, people keeping cards and bringing them out each and every year for the memories that they bring back.
Yeah.
3 minutes to 9 now.